most of us, we really do not understand the use of English. A lot of people speak English, but they do not understand. Like this Christmas, some few days ago, 2 guys went to visit their boss. When they got there, they asked them a very simple question. The boss wasn't around, so they met the wife. And the wife said, do you mind a glass of wine? One said, I mind. The other one said, I don't mind. The one that said, I mind, they didn't give to him. The one that said, I don't mind, they gave to him. The guy was wondering, I mind now. Why did you give me? Then who no mind, they give him. When they left here, they went to the second house, and the boss wasn't around as well. They asked them another question, English question. Do you care of wine? The one that said I mind before said I don't care. The one that said I don't mind said I care. They gave him the guy started wondering, I mind. I don't care. That's the wahala did. When they got to the third house, before the woman could open her mouth to say, do you? The boy said, Madam, hold up. I mind, I don't mind. I care, I don't care. Madam, give me something, man.
Thank you for joining us. This is Rsj LifeMatics, the mathematics of life. I have a great dude with me today. He's no other person than Portharcourt's finest. By the way, Portharcourt is in River State, Nigeria, and that's where Arinze Baba is shutting down all the concerts. Arinze, thank you for joining me at Rsj LifeMatics.
Thank you very much, Jay. Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So real quick, Arinze, tell us about yourself. How did you get into comedy?
Well, my name is Arinze Baba. I got into comedy in 1999 when I just left secondary school. 2 years after I left secondary school, and then I was in Jet Club and some other clubs in the dramatic club in school. And a friend of mine just said, "Man, this looks like what I see people do. This thing that you're doing, I think you should look into it." I said, "No, my mother wants me to be a lawyer, so I don't think I want to do this." No, but as time passes by, there's a hall very close to our house where they do like every monthly show. So I will always go there, and then I watch shows and the rest of them. I remember then, me, Clean the Drunk used to come around. Then Flavor was a drummer then. He wasn't the original drummer. The guy that was the original drummer his name is Charlie. He's dead now. May he so rest in peace. But Flavor was the assistant drummer at that time in Portharcourt. So, I would just go do a few things and I would leave. And gradually, in 2000, I saw myself doing this. And then I came to the bigger platform of Night of 2020 in 2004, when I had the opportunity of going for a talent hunt. And then, boom, I saw myself making money. That was how I came into comedy.
That is great. From what you're saying, I'm trying to do the math here. It seems you've been in the industry almost a decade, almost like 10 years.
Been in the industry for 21 years.
Incredible, incredible. That is amazing. Now tell me, being in comedy, comedy is a great resource for, particularly in Nigeria at this time when nobody is smiling in the local palace. No one is smiling in Nigeria because of our political and economic climate does not favor the poor. So you are doing a great work. As a matter of fact, the early founders of Nigerian comedy, if you like, people like Ali Baba, they have actually created a path for people like you to excel in comedy and actually make money. That's a great one. Now tell me, is there a peak in terms of success? What level should you get to? Is there a kind of peak for comedy in Nigeria? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it depends on what people see as peak. To me, I tell people, like I told somebody this morning, that comedy is the only business that I don't think there's a peak per se, because music as well. It's just like if a musician drops a new track that is sweet, it becomes the peak of that moment. And if another person brings another music that is sweeter than that you just dropped, he becomes the rave of the moment. In comedy, there's no peak for anybody. The only peak for you is when you have French jokes and new jokes. At that point in time, everybody wants you. As soon as those jokes are gone and you are not creating any new one, the next person who has new jokes is the peak of the moment.
Correct.
So the second peak for me is age and time. When you are younger, you know, there's time for you to do everything. But once you get old, like Ali Baba now, it's not as if Ali Baba is not funny anymore. But you can't see Ali Baba in shows like we do because he's older now. There are certain things that he cannot just be doing. You understand me? You can't see Ali Baba come for shows in the campuses, go for shows. Those are things that he has done earlier. But for now, you ride with your mates. It will get to that point where me, I cannot perform for people that are way, way below, like people like my son's age. I can't be performing for my son's age. Like they say, Arinze, you need to come and perform in social secondary school. And maybe my son might be in the university that time. I can't do that. So this peak for me is in different perspective.
Right.
Peak for me, number one peak is when you have the hot jokes and you're trending. And when the jokes are faded away, you are down. You create new ones, you come up again. Then the second one is when you get old, you definitely drop. You understand me? Nobody stays there forever. Two-Face is a wonderful musician, but I don't think he wants to do what Wizkid and the Davidos are doing right now. It's their time. And the Naira Marleys and the rest of them. He has children growing up under him. He needs to set some kind of record for them. We're not saying the other ones doesn't, but their age and his age doesn't tally. He's about 40-something. Some of them are 20-something. So they have time on their side. He doesn't have that much time on the side again. So peak for me is age and then the materials you have.
Absolutely. Arinze, you have great insights. That brings me to a question. Tell me a little bit more, because I know majority of the comedians in Nigeria are virtually people who have graduated from high school, from college, you know. So tell me a little bit about your academic background, because your insight is faultless regarding the question talking about peak. And you talked about time. And in terms of comedy, once your comedy is trending, you are at your peak. So there's a possibility, it's kind of like an oscillation. Sometimes you be at that peak, sometimes you drop off. Once your joke becomes like, when someone is doing better jokes, the peak drops off. That's a great insight. Tell me a little bit more about your background, because I know comedy is not just for dropouts. Comedy is now serious business for graduates. Tell me a little bit about your background, like your education.
Okay, my education, I went to nursery school in Portharcourt here. It's the nursery school that's no longer in I think they've shut it down. Wisdom Nursery School. Then I went to secondary school. I went to like 3 secondary schools because my parents at some point had to move from here to here. But I tested community primary school to get street knowledge. I went to some primary school that are private as well. Then I went to 2 secondary schools. I went to a private secondary school, then later went to Army Day Secondary School, which is in Boy Camp in Portharcourt. Then I delved into becoming a soldier at some point. I went to almost a soldier. My mother decided to say, no, the way you are going, I don't want to hear that they kill my son tomorrow. Come out. Then I went to university in Jos. I did cinematography. I did editing and motion picture. So that's it. I did CTA at some point in University of Portharcourt. That's for acting, because my whole life has been revolving around entertainment. I sing, I act. I belong to the Actors Guild of Nigeria. Great. I sing, and then I do comedy. So if you watch my jokes, I sing in my jokes. There's a lot of acting in my jokes, and then the comedy itself, what I've prepared. So
perfect blend. Perfect blend.
Because I tested both local and private. So
perfect blend. And based off on what you're saying, I see that you have great resources with your exposure. What you have seen in life guides some of the jokes you make. Joke is like looking at the circumstances and turning it to a joke. And that brings me to you. Tell us one or two or three, if you like, jokes, both for the Nigerian and the international audience.
Okay, okay, from the Nigerian, this joke is actually for Nigerians and then those that are international. Most of us, we really do not understand the use of English. A lot of people speak English, but they do not understand. Like this Christmas, some few days ago, two guys went to visit their boss. When they got there, they asked them a very simple question. The boss wasn't around, so they met the wife. And the wife said, do you mind a glass of wine? One said, I mind. The other one said, I don't mind. The one that said, I mind, they didn't give to him. The one that said, I don't mind, they gave to him. The guy was wondering, I mind now? Why did they give me? Then who no mind, they give him. When they left there, they went to the second house, and the boss wasn't around as well. They asked them another question, English question. Do you care a glass of wine? The one that said, I mind before, said, I don't care. The one that said, I don't mind, said, I care. They gave him the guy started wondering, I mind. I don't care. That's the wahala day. When they got to the third house, before the woman could open her mouth to say, do you, the boy said, Madam, hold on. I mind, I don't mind. I care, I don't care. Madam, give me something, man. So, people really don't understand the use of English.
Wait. So the guy doesn't want to miss this time. The best thing is that ahead of time.
Everything. I mind, I don't mind. I care, I don't care.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
Another thing is, most of us, I say it all the time, most of us, we fly plane. Like me, the first time I flew to London, there are certain things that we have not actually taken our time to note. Like me, I entered the plane one time, and then I saw buttons. I didn't know where the buttons, those buttons that one is for the light, one is for the bell to call on the attention of the air hostess.
Absolutely.
And then I pressed the light came on. I wanted to make sure that I know everything and their function. I now pressed first of all, I was angry. I paid for that flight, very expensive. And I pressed the button now did bing, bing. I left it. I thought I pressed something that would spoil the plane. I left it. And he said, can we help you, sir? I said, no, I call you. He said, no, when you press that thing, it means that we should come. I said, oh. And I said, oh, off it. I said, okay. I decided to ask him a question. I said, when are we flying? He said, very soon. He offed it and went back to sit down. I pressed it again. Bang, bang. The guy came. I said, this is why you are standing. Are you flying with us? The guy said, yes. I said, okay. He offed it. He went back to sit down. I pressed it again. Bang, bang. Is the pilot flying the plane very soon? He said, yes. He offed it. He went to sit down. I pressed it again. Bang, bang. The guy came. I said, you are funny your face. Are you not happy? The guy said, I'm happy. As he was about to leave, I wanted to press it. The guy just stood there. He said, ask me any question you want to ask me. Let me press it this morning. I said, okay, I just wanted to know because you are funny your face. I want to know if you are angry at me. He said, I'm not angry at you. He went back to sit down and I pressed the thing again. Bang, bang. The guy said, my friend, if you press this thing again, I will beat you here. You think I'm happy to be this? But I was just enjoying myself because the kind of money, first and foremost, why will I fly a plane and pay 170,000? You give me one pop-off, one small biscuit. All that is put together in the supermarket. Is it up to 1,000?
Oh my goodness.
And those who enter plane, they don't know. When you enter a plane, exit unit is written in two languages. One is written in English, one is written in French, or maybe other language. It depends on where you're flying to. I've entered a plane before, looking for where to ease myself. I know in the plane, you don't know where to ease yourself. You don't know. You understand? Because it's not like what we have. Like in the house, we have convenience, we have toilet, but plane is written different.
Yeah.
So one day I thought that I've been flying since to peace problem. I entered plane, sat down, whole urine from Nigeria to London, 4 hours, 6 hours. I didn't know how to ease myself. And I said, one day I entered the place, I must ease myself. Anything that wants to happen, let it happen. So I was moving. Since this one was exiting it, maybe the other one means toilet. I was going there. The air hostess came to me. Where are you going to? I said, I want to ease myself. He said, where? I said, this door. He said, if you open that door, we all die here now. He said, that is exit unit in Germany. I said, okay. I said, so where do I ease myself? He pointed somewhere, lavatory. I went to the lavatory, eased myself. Now, time to flush. Voila. Because everything was pressing button. I don't want to press the one play with crash. So I quietly happened memory there, leave the piece there, went back to sit down. I didn't know that one first timer like me, one Igbo man was in the plane. The man went there to eat himself. Now saw early morning urine. I know these are our Igbo brothers. Anywhere they go to, they speak Igbo. They don't care whether you hear or you don't hear.
Exactly.
He went to the air hostess. He was asking the air hostess, Onye in your memory? I can't understand. He said, peace. The air hostess, oh, that guy is that guy. He just came out there. He now came to me. There, again, your memory. I flush. There, look for the tea. I can't find it. I came back to see that the man came to me. I flush here now. And I say, you're embarrassing me. What's your problem? If you want to ease yourself and the place is dirty, why not flush it and then you ease yourself?
Right.
Knowing that the man was in the same category with me, the man laughed. The man called me, there. Do you think I know where to flush it and I'm disturbing you? Come on, I got all this thing.
Talking about playing Arinze, I have one more before you. Honestly, you're a great entertainer anytime, any day, Arinze Baba. There is one of your jokes which I actually listened to. I had to the point that I was driving, I had to go and park somewhere to finish the laughing. Tell me about the plane stuff that's about to crash.
Oh! No, you know, these are our honorables. All these people that call themselves honorable, they can feel like they are on top of the world. Once they just make them that honorable, they'll be flat. I entered plane from Abuja. We were coming to Portharcourt. I met over 15 honorables inside the flight. Business class.
Business class.
Now, I was greeting them. Oh. They were doing big man for me. I said, honorable. They said, how are you? How are you? I didn't talk to them. Oh. Now, you know, this air hostess, first and foremost, I don't understand. All these things that they used to teach us in plane, what is it for? In the course of landing on water, something is under your chair. If you don't have water, who will open plane for you to go outside? Now we sat down, we took off. Every man who flies plane, as soon as plane takes off, you look at your time, you know when you are supposed to land.
Correct.
Once you don't land at that time, panic starts. So we entered the plane, we took off. Now we have looked at our time. We are 5 minutes behind time. We're supposed to have landed in Portharcourt. And pilots will not talk until there's a problem. The next thing we had, hello, this is your pilot. My name is Adedeji. I just want to announce to you that we have been in Portharcourt airspace for the past 10 minutes. We're trying to land you, but the weather is seriously bad. We're still waiting for signal to see if we can land you. Otherwise, we'll take you back to Abuja. Would have taken you back to Abuja, but they told us that the Abuja weather is even more terrible. And the weather we have in this plane will last us for only another 5 minutes. And so we don't know if we take you back to Abuja, we'll not get to Abuja. So I think you should bring out your phone and begin to call your loved ones because we don't have food that will last you for 5 minutes. I was shocked. One of the honorable that was claiming seats, he just shouted, pilot, go, Wero!
Who will die? Oh my goodness. Arinze, if I allow you, you will crack me all the way. So Arinze, thank you for, I know that a lot of people who are listening to us right now, if you're just joining us, this is Rsj LifeMatics, the mathematics of life. I've been talking to Arinze Baba. Arinze Baba is a great stand-up comedian. He's been in the business for more than 2 decades. Arinze, thank you again for joining us. And if you want to reach out to Arinze, in the comment below, you will see the the handle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. He's all over the place. He's a great dude you need at any time for your invest, for people who are back home in Nigeria, and for those who are in River State, Portharcourt. Now, Arinze, real quick, I had another celebrity on this show, Kelly Handsome. Kelly has currently been promoting Celeb Island. According to him, Celeb Island is in the fashion of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Tell me a little bit about, are you on Celeb Island? What are your thoughts?
Well, yes, I'm on Celeb Island. Kelly Handsome is a wonderful guy. He's a great guy. He's a brother. He's not just a friend, he's a brother. We go way back. And then I'm really impressed, you know. He's been telling me about Celeb Island, and of late, I think before my show I did a show on the 5th of December. Before my show, I decided to check it out. I swear down, I really was blown away because I didn't believe that a young Nigerian could put that together. There's no difference between Celeb Island is even more is easier to handle than Facebook and the rest of them. I think Nigerians should channel into our own, because what Kelly has created on Celeb Island is really, really superb. And I trust God, and I trust the fact that very soon Celeb Island will be the biggest social media platform for everybody, because it's owned by our own and it's easy. It's easy to work with, you know. I'm on Celeb Island, I drop content there, you know, and we look forward to pushing it and making it bigger and better. But what Kelly Handsome has done with Celeb Island, kudos to him, man. My respect. I respect him a lot, but this time I got 100 for him.
Great. While on that one, I do want to let you know, Arinze, that I'm also in Celeb Island. One interesting part is about verification. For example, on Instagram, it takes a whole lot. Some people have to actually spend a lot of money to have themselves verified on Instagram. So with the Celeb Island, all you need is the valid ID. So I did provide my valid ID. In the next day, I was verified on Celeb Island. What do you think about that? Is it not something that will encourage our people, instead of like, let's kind of patronize one of our own? Because I do know, I've spoken to Kelly. Kelly was on this show. Kelly talked about Celeb Island being like the Instagram for Africa. Do you see Celeb Island being an Instagram for Africa? And do you think people are willing to patronize their own?
It's not an Instagram for Africa. I don't want to use the word Instagram for Africa. Celeb Island is for Africa. Celeb Island for Africa. Celeb Island is for the world, because if the likes of Instagram and Facebook that are not Africans brought their business and sold it to us and we bought, we can sell our own to them for them to buy as well. Celeb Island is for the world. The verification aspect is, as far as I'm concerned, because, you know, there's a lot of people duping people on all this social network because you hardly get verification. So people really do not know the authentication of what's it called? Authenticity rather of these pages. For instance, my page on Facebook, you can have, if you type Arinze Baba, you might have over 300 Arinze Baba until you get a verified one. That's how you know the original person. So what is delaying people to verify this? Verify them so that people will know they're dealing with the original people. A lot of fraudulent ads are going on, and that's because people don't get verified. But on Celeb Island, once you provide your valid ID card and we're sure that this is you, you are verified, so people know they're dealing with the authentic person. And that's for me. That's for me is the height of it. It's nice.
Correct.
You understand me? People do that because people really want to deal with the original people.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I was a victim in Instagram. I had this gentleman that kind of like followed me. They call him Indahosa, Indabusa. You know, the guy, the fair gentleman from Anambra State or something. So he kind of like followed me. I'm like, how did this guy know me? You know, because I know his face. So I'm like, okay. The next day, I got a message on my DM. He was asking for money. I'm like, what is going on here? So what I did, I had to look at the two Instagram handle. I looked at the one that is similarly looking close to the actual guy. And then I looked at this one sending me a message, sort of, I see there's like a underscore between the names, but they have the picture of the same guy, everything. So any person can easily be duped online because people are cloning other people's handle, you know. So that is the beauty of Celeb Island that requires you, all you need to do is just to get yourself verified with a valid ID and you get your blue badge. So that's a great thing Kelly is doing. Big ups to Kelly. Kelly, you are doing a great job you do have a passion for Africa, and we do appreciate what you're doing for Nigerians and for Africans at large. Now, before we go, we have a couple minutes here. Before we go, Arinze, share your thoughts for aspiring comedians, those who want to be like you. You've been in the business for more than for 2 decades and counting. What advice? What has kept you going? Now, what advice would you have for young aspiring comedians?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, comedy is not something you learn; it's something that is inbuilt or inborn. You can add to what God has given to you, which is knowledge and then the ability to create. But this is my advice: whatever you do, God comes first. Humility comes second, and then love, because you must be humble, you must love what you do, and God must play the major role, because it's only God that gives you inspiration. And when you're humble, because there's one thing, I was in a meeting the other day when a motivational speaker was saying, you can have a team and have a talent and don't have the attitude. You might have the attitude and have the talent and you don't have the team. So you need the team, the talent, and the attitude. These 3 things, and God will drive you to any level. I am not where I am because I'm better than anybody. It's just that according to Bible, I follow peace with all men. I try to be humble, and I try to hold God, and I try to love people. That's all.
Absolutely, absolutely. What an ending piece you got there, Arinze. That actually kind of like brings to the fore you as a very humble person, and with what you're doing, I will say the same thing I did say to Baba Funky, who was also on this show. I saw humility in Baba Funky, and I asked him to continue what he's doing. Sky is definitely your starting point. It's not a limit anymore, but your starting point. Thank you again, Arinze Baba, for joining me on Rsj LifeMatics. We appreciate the work you're doing, particularly bringing smiles to the faces of people. I've been laughing my heart out. I will go grab lunch right now because on my local time, it's almost going to 11 o'clock. I've not had my breakfast yet, but you've made me, laughing is a great food. Sometimes when you laugh, there's a lot that happens in your body, in your mental health. You are doing a great job, Arinze Baba. Continue what you're doing and be the best man ever, okay? Once more, thank you for joining Rsj LifeMatics. To my viewers, I will see you next week.